An undertaker undertook to undertake an undertaking. The undertaking that the undertaker undertook was the hardest undertaking the undertaker ever undertook to undertake. Ain't gonna lie, that particular, I'll shout out the undertaker. I appreciate that one. Ain't gonna lie, that particular tongue twister seemed less like a tongue twister and more like I just said undertake a life. That did not feel like a motherfucking tongue twister. That just felt like they said, here, just say undertake, bitch. Oh man. The other one that would have been better is shit, us being performers. You know, Unique New York.
Yeah.
We already fucked it up. Unique New York, yeah.
Is that what you said the first time?
I thought I fucked it up. Maybe I did that. But I should have said that because that's that. But it just felt like it was less U's and more U sound. So, but it was unique New York. No, you know New York. You need New York. You know you need unique New York. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that before. Also, hello everybody.
I was gonna get there, motherfucker. Shit, we were just talking about cold opens and shit. Now. What's going on, everybody? We don't do the cold open thing no more. We used to do the little bumpers and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know why we stopped. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? If you're wondering who in the hell is this dude that won't shut the fuck up and the other guy looking crazy, or who in the hell is the guy looking, you know, which one of us looks crazy? Yo, welcome to the Whatever We Want podcast. I am one of the hosts. I go by the name of Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
I should have said my actual name first. Good God, Jazz, get your shit together. I go by the name of Jazz. Super Jazz. SJJT. He says Super Jazz as nature intended. Okay, there you go. Anyway, and I'm joined by... I'm all over the place with this intro. My name is Jazz.
That's right. And you're joined by me. Yeah, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube. Sometimes Jazz refers to me as Pete, but I doubt he'll remember what to refer to me as at all today, apparently. But yes, I'm doing fine as well.
Word. And like I said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. As you can fucking see, we talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday, and this Wednesday there's a hurricane. Dun, 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 dun.
Was there a hurricane in Florida or something? Yeah, like...
It is going on right now. Da-doo-be-doo. Anyway,
is it really like
Idalia, Tropical Storm Idalia, which I think hit land as a somewhere between Cat 1 and Cat 3 hurricane. Yes, is likely going on while this episode is airing and in a few hours from now. Like, we're already starting to get some rain from the outer bands here.
A tropical storm is different from a hurricane, right?
Well, once it gets to counting categories, it's a hurricane.
Because the tropical storm means it has all the like conditions of a hurricane and everything, like high winds, high rain, or whatever. But the hurricane is actual, like, the funnel vortex shit.
It's a superstorm.
Okay.
I don't know the exact things behind it. I just know once they start talking categories, it's gone from depression to storm to hurricane.
5 is the worst, right?
5 is the worst, and there have not been that many Cat 5s, but every one of them, you know, holy shit. Cat 4 is ridiculous in and of its own. Cat 3s can also do a lot of damage. They really start doing some damage when they get to 3, in my opinion. But I'm not from here.
Since you've been in Orlando, but you moved there in... Damn, when did you move to fucking Orlando? Because you've been there for a minute.
Oh, a minute ago. The last time I moved down here was 2012.
Yeah. Because you moved down, moved back, and yeah. When since you've been down there, have you experienced any hurricane shit?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, have you actually like seen like, oh shit, there's a fucking hurricane. Let's move. Or have you just felt like, what goes on around it?
So, j- I've not seen like any funnels because I feel like if I'm outside enough to see like a funnel coming in the distance, it's already too late and I'm gonna die in a hurricane.
God damn,
Like,
have a little faith. Like,
no,
if it's
no,
far away, like
no.
fucking
If you're
knock your car.
seeing the funnel itself, like, because hurricanes, you got like 70, 80 miles an hour winds and shit minimum. So if I'm outside to see that, it's not good. And they're fucking usually like huge in terms of area. So you'll mainly get the wind and the stuff. But as far as being outside and it's you know
Overcast as fuck and rainy and windy as shit.
I definitely luckily there's like a hallway outside my house,
Mm.
but there's not a lot of view that I could see anything. But the wind that even tries to funnel through that hallway is ridiculous. And I've gone out like I'd say about 2 hours before a hurricane was supposed to hit, but I've mainly been inside. And the winds and rain just there, like just while it's close. This is close. That's pretty crazy. However, at the same time, I will go ahead and dial back the oh my god, been a hurricane shit. Technically, Orlando has been hit with a few hurricanes since I've been down here, but usually Orlando is based because of its geographic location does not get the heaviest like hurricanes. Even if a hurricane hits like Miami as a cat 4, it's probably a cat 2 or 1 by the time it's up here.
What's the name? Miami
So,
being right there on the tip of the peninsula. Miami, I know, and all that shit on the tip probably gets fucked up bad, bro.
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day when and thoughts and prayers to all the people who are affected by this particular hurricane going on.
Always, always.
Um, like I said, it's gonna pass over Orlando to the north. We'll get some of the outer bands of weather and stuff, but like I'm saying, there's a hurricane going on right now, and as of this moment, I still got to go to work in the morning. So, well, not in the morning, but tomorrow afternoon. Like there are other people who are still scheduled to go to work tomorrow.
Unless it gets so bad you can't go too bad.
Yeah, like if it changes its path or something. You ever see because obviously not a lot of hurricanes and shit in St. Louis, but I also didn't pay that much attention to weather outside of St. Louis when I was younger. But you know how when you get hurricanes, they have the little cone that kind of predicts where it's going to go. If you look at a weather channel,
you look at the weather map.
Yeah. Well, they also have if they don't have the cone, they got the little like strands, because there's like a whole bunch of people trying to guess the path of this, and you usually just see like 90% of them will all point like one way, and occasionally there's one that's just like, I think it'll go, and a couple of times that weird had been right, and it was always like the worst case scenario when it was right. It's like, now this could pass, but if it does this and it swoops through the Bahamas and Puerto Rico and then comes up, that's a bad news for everybody. And then sure enough, well, it went on that one weirdo. So the one weirdo route for this time, because the whole time that I saw it yesterday, state of Florida or whatever, and say Orlando's in the center or some shit. So hard to do when it's mirrored. But the cone would go up here, like whatever, and then up into Georgia, and then out into the Atlantic and just fuck off. But and 99% of the strands had it doing that, and then you had one motherfucker that's like, so it'll go up, it'll go past, go out into the Atlantic Ocean, and then it's gonna come back and come directly across straight through Orlando.
Damn. So it's going to leave and then return.
Return after getting stronger. Now,
What the
from
fuck?
what I've been told from a native, well, from a more native Floridian than I am, at least, like technically a Midwestern as well, but moved down here at age 8 as opposed to age 18 or 19 or 20.
Roommate.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he did so. As far as he told me, is like part of what helps us is, like I said, that 90% of hurricanes come up, like they go down, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, up through the state, like the majority of them. Or they come from the Gulf of Mexico and they still kind of power down by the time they get to us. From what he said, if a hurricane does like what that one dude is claiming that it was gonna do, if it comes from the east, that's when Orlando actually gets fucked. But they rarely come directly from the east. Like, there has not been one to come from the east in the whole time that I've been down here. I'll put it that way.
That's the thing about. I thought about that, man. I know a lot of people have too.
How people decide where to live with all the fucking natural occurrences.
Well, that definitely ties into what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say just like both coasts, it's like they're both like some of the most luxurious, wonderful places to live in the country, but you either got crazy ass hurricanes or fucking horrible earthquakes, earthquakes, and it's like what, like what the hell? Like, you go to Cali, and it's like, yo, man, it's so beautiful, it's wonderful, everybody's here. I wear shorts all the time and never gets that cold. It don't even rain in some parts, let alone snow. Snow, what's that? Oh my God, why is the ground shaking? Like, what? And then, like I say, yeah, little fucking Florida. It's like, oh man, it's so sunny. Girls in the bikinis. I can wear my swimming trunks. We can go swimming all the time. Everything cool. But I had to elevate my house because we get hit with fucking crazy big tidal waves and really bad hurricanes. It's like, what the fuck? Technically where I'm at, we want to talk about hurricanes, where where we're from, where I am currently, it's supposed to be Tornado Alley,
Yeah.
cousin. But I have never seen a tornado at all. I know some people say they saw, but I've never seen a tornado at all. We've always felt the effects of it when it, got like the overcast and the winds got real high and shit.
To my knowledge, St. Louis for tornadoes and being in tornado country is kind of similar to Orlando in the case that due to the geographic location, it's less susceptible compared to everything else.
When you look on the map, pretty much all the time, you look on that Doppler radar map, whatever. Every time, damn near, we are technically in Tornado Alley, but it always is like it's gonna go here, and in St. Louis, right here at the edges, the east part of Missouri. Pass by this way or pass by this way. It is just like it always.
Get some outer bands of the weather there. Get some mean weather those days.
You just get really crazy rain and really, really bad winds.
Now, one of my mom's houses when she was still in St. Louis did get hit with a tornado. Did get hit and affected by a tornado. Like the last place out near Hazelwood East. That used to have a big ass tree in its front yard. The tornado, when it came through, luckily my mom had went to a friend's house, not really knowing there was gonna be a tornado watch or warning. She just thought it was bad rain. But when she came back, she saw it had come through and it knocked down the tree and it like landed on the office like area and shit. So she had to get it repaired and shit. But by the time I went back up there to visit, I'm like, wait, look, you did say the tree was gone. Oh my God.
Never, man. We can never truly forget just how powerful Mother Nature, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. We can never forget how powerful this shit is, man.
Well, the fucking hurricane. Speaking of California, like how? Oh, you didn't hear about the hurricane like last weekend or the weekend before? So you mentioned the earthquakes in California. That's what they're known for. They got hit with an earthquake. And in the same weekend, they got a hurricane. Like
within the same area.
California. I
But
don't mean to
right,
be
I'm just saying.
disrespectful to the people out there, but I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
Cali
I
is
just know
fucking
it was
huge.
in
Right.
California.
Um,
Hopefully, it wasn't the same city, but to my knowledge, it was about the same area. But I could be wrong. Either way, the fact that you got both of those motherfuckers, and it had been a minute since California had a big earthquake. Although I think this one was, well, I don't want to say only a 5.5. Like I know what that means. I know it doesn't sound as bad as a 10, but it was like a 5 point something earthquake.
that is something I don't even know how I would act because okay, really crazy wind, really like the horrible crazy ass rain. Okay, cool, all right. Bad snow, all, like frigid cold, bad heat, whatever the fuck. If I'm standing around and the fucking ground starts to move, I don't know how I would have reacted to that. And I'm not talking about splitting half or some day after tomorrow, crazy movie shit. But if I'm standing around chilling and I feel the ground start vibing,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? What the
Nah,
fuck?
earthquakes, I don't like them. I don't know if
Have
I
you
could
ever
deal with
experienced
those
one?
either. No, but I don't know if I could deal with those either.
That's fucking
I never
weird.
experienced the earthquake, never experienced a tornado. Like I said, I've experienced hurricanes. Like we've had to deal with like the flooding in the nearby areas and all that shit. And but luckily, I've lived in a good enough location for it's very great for being in a hurricane ridden area. So that's been good for me. I have personally not had a lot of big side effects, but I've had it go where the next day and it's like, well, that store needs a new sign. Oh, that store needs some new glass in
Yeah.
front. See people having to, like, it's not like down south where, like, in the Miami area where houses mandatorily apparently have like hurricane shutters like over the windows where you gotta like close those things. That's the thing. These Floridians, like, it's like you said, like you got to deal with all these hurricanes to be in this thing, but they're like, whatever, it's another hurricane season. Da, 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 da. You can always, I feel like you could always tell some of the native like Floridians from others, especially in Orlando, when it comes to like hurricanes and stuff. Like people from outside the state prep a lot more than some people I know who have lived here. They're just like, it's just it's fine. What? No. Did you see? This one's different. They're all different. It'll be fine.
It's like
I got that.
I saw something because like I say, St. Louis, we usually get the devastating rain and the really crazy winds, but we never really experience like something so bad as tornado shit. And I remember a while ago, like, not super long ago, but some years, whatever, how I saw somebody on Facebook and it's like you say, about people who like native Floridians as opposed to people who ain't been there that long. Or when we'll get our tornado sirens, and to us, we just know tornado sirens because of the fact that we've been so fortunate in St. Louis. We just know tornado sirens means really bad weather. We don't really think tornado means we're gonna see a tornado. So I remember somebody on Facebook was like, "Man, screw these sirens, man. I wish they'd stop. I'm trying to sleep." And it's like that's how you know a St. Louisan because we don't really react like, "Oh shit, let me doomsday prep for a tornado." When we hear the fucking this is for the counties of so and so and blah blah blah, we don't
Yeah.
really we don't really react to that shit. We don't. We just
I used to
we
be
just know
so
that
mad. I used to
we
be so mad. I'm like, I don't give a damn. Let me
see. That's
listen to
what I'm
my TV
saying.
show.
That's when you know you are a St. Louisan when you hear that shit and your thought is, "Damn, that just means it's gonna be some really shitty weather anyway, and I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna carry on for my day tomorrow. I might not drive right now, but other than that, I know it ain't gonna be shit. And the only reason I'm not driving is because the rain is bad. Other than that, like that's the only reason I'm not driving.
Don't
I'm
feel
not
like
driving because
hydroplaning.
exactly. I'm not gonna not drive because oh no the winds or I might see a tornado. I'm not driving because of the rain. That's the only reason. That's how you know somebody's from St. Louis. We
Dude,
don't give a damn.
one
Which is
fun one.
bad, but yeah.
Speaking of motherfuckers from down here, a couple hurricane. I want to say it was Matthew. I want to say it was Hurricane Matthew that I first saw it, but he might have done it the hurricane before that as well, and he had just been continuing a trend. There's this motherfucker that lived in one of the down south cities, and like as close to the hurricane making landfall as possible, and said down south city is like a beach city. So this motherfucker would be standing in the middle of the street, and he had like a video as there's a song by a Slayer called Raining Blood, and it has an intro where it's like anyway, this motherfucker would be standing there as that song blows. He had like long flowing fucking hair and some like American flag like trunks with a giant American flag, just standing as the wind's blowing and just starts head banging to the song while a hurricane's coming up. Like, this motherfucker just like, what are you doing? He did it like 2 or 3 hurricanes in a row, and it's like, this motherfucker. He didn't do it, I think, with shit, which one was last year? Whatever hurricane was last year, he didn't do it with that one.
Whatever you are trying to win, my friend, you win. Cause what the fuck, man?
Just standing in the street, just tons of rain and shit blowing in his face, and just big ass American flag.
My man over here shooting a fucking super low budget, like using the hurricane to shoot a super low budget music video. What the fuck? What in the hell?
But yeah, Dahlia's coming. Safety to everybody. They've already evacuated some of the coastal cities that may get hit by it. Well, they told people to, evacuate. Not everybody evacuates when told to down here.
We don't always heed. Sometimes we can't, and sometimes people just don't care,
Mm-hmm. So. Again, some of the old heads down here, I ain't moving from no one. All right. Oh, what was it? It was either I heard a story about it or I saw a clip of like a news reporter like talking, like one of those people that like Jim Cantori types that get paid to just go out to all the worst storms and stand in the worst parts of them to report it for the Weather Channel. Jim Cantori's been doing it for like decades. This one guy, they always send him to like the worst parts of it. Just
always so crazy.
So.
Reporters. It's
that man gets paid though.
Standing there.
And he'll be like taking off his feet. Oh shit! Oh, okay. Well, I gotta finish it.
The whole point is the reporter's always on the scene, whatever it, whether crime scene, if it's a festival, if it's fucking a crazy natural, like a disaster.
And this motherfucker, they send him all around the country to like the worst like weather things just to be like, and here's Jim Cantori. What's it like out there on the thing? Well, I could die any second, but here you go. But I get paid like a motherfucker.
I know I'm not supposed to curse, but it's pretty shitty, guys. Pretty shitty. Like the fuck. Back to you, Bill.
But like someone was like talking like one of those reporters, and they saw like some old person just like walking and like, "Well, sir, aren't you getting ready for that? I've been here, so if you want to take me, you can take me. I'm gonna go to the store." Like, what? The stores are closed. Like, but these motherfuckers down here are crazy anyway, and they see gators and just like, it's just a gator. What?
You going to any gator shows and shit?
No,
like a show. Not like, have you seen a gator? You're gonna go try to find a bitch in the Everglades. Like, hey, here's 10, 15, 20, $30.
I have not been to one. I've not been to one. No. And if I did, it was like before I was out of high school. Definitely not since coming down to Florida.
You're supposed to go to one of those, and if you feel weird, sit all the way in the back. So that way, something happens, you guys.
Oh no! So like, if it's going to watch a show, it's going to watch a show. It's not that. It's just I haven't watched the gator show. But like, as far as going out and seeing any gator. Like I see a gator sign, like warning potential of gators. I'm just not going anywhere near that area. There was a
Like,
street.
oh,
There was a street I avoided walking down a bit after the last time where it got flooded. The street got flooded for like a couple weeks after the last hurricane, and I'm like, let me be careful in that area because I don't need any gators that just because that's how it fucking happens. They will fucking swim while the water's swimmable, and next thing you know, they got a new home somewhere else.
they are amphibians. No, they're reptiles.
They are reptiles.
Tripping. They're not amphibians, they're reptiles. But they don't breathe underwater, but they're good swimmers. You're right. Yeah. So they survive on land. That's what it is. Which is crazy that dolphins are mammals, yet they live in the water. But that's all.
Well, I mean, oh yeah. Same with orcas.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me that there's like a whole animal that needs air to breathe, yet they live in the water.
Well, technically, fish need air to breathe too. They just process it differently.
Well, but a fish doesn't have to come to the surface.
Correct. I was just going with needing air to breathe. Or I guess oxygen. I count air as oxygen, but technically,
yeah, there's
oxygen.
A difference. They
like I said, they need the same substance to live. They just get it differently. They get it through the gills. We get it through lungs.
Yes, you're correct. I was just like fish. And if you notice,
oxygen. We don't need air. We can have oxygen. Just drink liquid oxygen every day.
If you notice that when you said that as a friend, I didn't instantly try to correct your ass. I just tried to pivot.
Just drink liquid oxygen every day, bro. It'll be fine. That won't be like super cold.
Speaking of drinking liquid oxygen, okay. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do you fucking remember the part where they're supposed to be making some fucking potion or whatever the hell? And I hope I ain't quoting this right, but the dude was like, "You pour hydrogen, and I'm gonna pour this liquid concoction. They're supposed to make like water or whatever." What the fuck was he pouring if he was pouring fucking oxygen?
Well, if it's hydrogen and oxygen, I mean that's
because they were both pouring shit. You remember what I'm talking about?
I remember them pouring shit. I don't remember what they were pouring.
But they were supposed to be making like some like H2O type shit, right?
Okay. Well, hydrogen and oxygen both go into water. It's just it's not O2. If anything, they're making hydrogen peroxide because that's H2 and O2, H2O2.
Pour oxygen. So what the fuck was the teacher
Sure, you can. It's just gonna be really fucking cold.
What? You can't pour oxygen. Oxygen is gas.
If you cool it to like sub-zero temperatures, it'll turn to a liquid before it turns back into a solid. Like all solids, liquids, and gases. So if you want to pour oxygen, it will be really cold. Just like if you pour liquid nitrogen. Now, the second you pour the liquid nitrogen, it starts like gasifying after a very brief amount of moment, but they make ice cream out of that shit.
But that's because you're not so much freezing the oxygen so much as you're freezing the water molecules around the oxygen and therefore turning it into like water vapor and ice and shit. No? Yes?
Pretty sure matter the whole three states of things with the solids, liquids, and gases.
But it turns
if it's a gas, it will eventually, if cooled enough, it's not easy to turn oxygen into liquid and then into free and then into ice.
The reason why we see our air in cold temperatures
is that's different.
Whatever water molecules
that's not liquid oxygen.
It's instantly heating up.
That's what I'm saying. That's not liquid oxygen. That's not what I'm saying is liquid oxygen.
Well, what I'm saying
is much colder than
liquid oxygen as it is. It's just the water molecules that are always in the air.
See now, so oxygen as liquid.
Because there's always water molecules in the air, which is a funny thing that we never really think about. There's always water molecules in the air, and there's always bacteria in the air and germs on everything.
When oxygen is cooled to, and again, not an easy temperature to reach,
Of course.
Negative 183 degrees Celsius, it becomes a liquid. It becomes a solid at temperatures below negative 218.79%.
So oxygen in and of itself. Holy shit. Okay. Learn
Yeah.
something new today. Holy shit. I'll be damned. Oxygen in and of itself turns into liquid oxygen and not even so much just you don't so much freeze the water molecules, but the oxygen in and of itself. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everything all the gases technically have a point where they have a freezing point or a liquid point and then freezing point.
Well,
it's
then
just you gotta go through very ridiculous lengths to get there.
where there's still gas and it's not that they like
Where there's still that same thing on a molecular level.
That's crazy. Okay.
Like it's still O2.
I know that. So that means that maybe that teacher was pouring liquid fucking oxygen, but I know that motherfucker can find a way to freeze and keep that temperature at negative 180 Celsius, which is even like further negative as far as Fahrenheit.
But this is also Willy Wonka.
Huh?
This is also Willy Wonka.
And they hadn't met him yet. They weren't in the factory yet. This was, hey Charlie, we're in class. You pour this, we pour that, and then poof.
Oh, I don't remember that shit. I don't remember that in nearly enough detail.
What's your favorite?
For me, 90% of my memories start when they get to the factory. Like, obviously, I know Grandpa Joe, like,
everybody shits on Joe.
You got the pig.
Everybody shits, because it was like, what was it, Joe, Josephine, George, and Georgina, I think, and it was like they were all like ailing and hurt and fucked up. I got a golden ticket, and Joe jumped out of bed like, shit. And everybody shits on Joe. And I'm like, I feel you. But shit, Joe was like, shit, fuck them. Anyway, what I was gonna say was what's your favorite song? First of all, I was gonna say I could be wrong as shit. He motherfucker could have said nothing about fucking making water, and he could have been pouring something that made sense. So this whole conversation could have been null and void and dumb. I will disclaim that. But I was gonna say, what's your favorite Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory song?
There are a lot of songs. I was about to say they're all the fucking Oompa Loompa songs. No, but there's Imagination and Candyman and all that shit as well. So that's what I was like. Oh wait, there are a lot of songs.
Cheer Up Charlie, Imagination, like you said, Candyman, of course the Oompa Loompa song. That there's no earthly way of knowing that weird ass shit.
Oh, you got that as a song? Then I had to pick that.
I would. And then there's also I got a golden ticket. I gotta go. There's that. What's the one? Give it to me. Give it to me. I want the something and something.
Oh yeah, her.
Group of salt ass.
Yeah.
I got a crow. No, that's Peter Pan.
I mean, I've already answered it.
What?
You count There's No Way of Knowing as a song, so it's that.
If it wasn't that, what did you have in mind?
I don't know, one of the Oompa Loompa songs. I got the perfect puzzle for you.
And that one part where he like walks away. Yeah, that's what he said. No, that there's no earthly way of knowing shit. Is a fucking one of the weirdest, most what the fuck just happened moments in cinema history.
There was a time in my life where I definitely memorized that.
The entirety of that shit?
Yes. It's hilarious.
Cause they just chilling. And then they get on this fucking little river. and then this motherfucker just there's no way. And everybody in he's screaming for the something. It's like, what the? And they never speak of it ever again.
The roads keep on rolling, and they don't seem to be showing any signs of slowing.
And then the projections in the background. It's like some dude with a fucking caterpillar crawling over his face and shit. Like what the fuck?
Like the scene is such a mind fuck.
And then at the end of it, they never speak of it before or after the fucking movie. It is never spoken of ever again.
Yeah, it's just the thing that happened. It's just the thing that happened. Did it happen? I don't know. We'll never mention it again, but it happened.
Fuck. My favorite movie from that movie, my favorite song from that movie is honestly one of my favorite Disney musical songs of all time that I converted into a beat that I eventually plan to rap over. And I didn't know most people didn't like Cheer Up Charlie.
Cheer up, Charlie. Cheer it up. Hello, governor.
That couldn't be further from the feel of the song. Oh my god. Bruh. Fucking Charlie has told it wasn't that damn. It was funny, but goddamn. Was it the LO governor that made you be like, was that in the LO governor?
Just the fact that the whole thing was so terrible. And me just laughing at how terrible it was.
I think it you don't remember Charlie. Well, I didn't realize how many people did like that was their least favorite song in the movie because I love that song so much. To the point where when I was like, oh, and I'm getting kind of better at like, or at least trying to get better at flipping samples, taking a sample and trying to make it like beats or whatever out of it. So I made a beat out of it and shit, and I think it's really nice. And I'm gonna write some sad, triumphant, whatever shit over it. But I didn't realize most people didn't like it. And like I said, I went back and watched it, bro. I started tearing up just listening to the shit. So the point in the movie is Charlie goes home, and that they were like living in fucking poverty, like squalor. Charlie goes home, and he thought he had a golden ticket, but he didn't. And the last one got sold. That's what it was before they ended up actually like getting another one. And he feels like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders because even though he's a little boy, everybody else is sick. And his mom's doing what she can. But she only do so much. So he's like, I gotta go to school, but I also gotta try to find a way to provide for my family, this, that. Oh, and damn, the golden ticket is gone. So he starts walking away with his head down, and his mom is singing Cheer Up. That's why I said it could be further from the and she's like, does this sound familiar? I don't sound as beautiful as the woman who sang it, but does it sound familiar? Cheer up, Charlie. No?
No.
And let your troubles go away, float away, there they go. Fucking love this song.
Again, well, like I said, that song doesn't sound as familiar to me because one, it wasn't one of the more popular, even like put into the zeitgeist songs. I didn't know people disliked it, but I think for me, and I think for a lot of people, it's not necessarily that they don't like the song, or it's more just for a lot of people, the movie starts once you get to the factory. And their memory wise, like I said, you'll remember a few things. Like it took every once in a while, I have to remember that fucking Candyman. The Candyman is from that movie.
I forget I know the song. I forget it comes from that movie. Yeah, because the candy shop's owner sings it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I forget that it comes from that movie. So because of that, because the rest of the movie is so wacky, silly, funny, and yeah, it has a couple serious moments. But first part's sad and boring. Bring out Gene Wilder.
Because you have to get to a point where
bring out the Oompa Loompas.
They have to give you a reason as to why this little boy needs to win this golden ticket and shit. Yeah,
it's like rewatches. It's like I get it. He's poor.
but I mean,
it's okay. I grew up poor. People, calm down. I'm not rich now either.
You always talk about how you don't necessarily like to watch your movies and see some sad shit. So I can see the saddest song in the movie. You probably it's not your favorite, let alone you don't even remember the shit.
It seldom is my favorite song in anything. Is the saddest part.
I had told you my favorite Disney song though, right? Because Cheer Up Charlie is like my second favorite.
Have you told me? Yes. If you want me to answer right now, I'm not going to be able to.
Be prepared.
Oh, look, you talking about sad shit. I was thinking, yeah.
I'm just talking about Disney song in general. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in general, I figured Lion King or something would, like, my first thought went to Lion King, but I'm like, I can't think of no super duper sad song from Lion King that he would like.
My favorite song ain't gotta be sad.
Like I said, you were talking about liking sad songs, and then you go, I told you my favorite movie thing, right? I'm like, what fucking sad Disney song? Yeah, like, what sad Disney song is Jazz crazy about? Well, that's not Disney.
My favorite song is "Be Prepared," because that the like baritone bass, like singing on it.
Yeah, Jim Cummings does a great job.
God, yeah, right. The way like everything in the movie,
and Jeremy Irons.
Right. This has nothing to do with the audio of it, the sound of it, but the visuals. Everything in that part is so greenish. I love that shit. Scar gets a song. The villain song's always great, and Scar gets a song. That's his only song, and that's good. Mufasa never got a song too. I just thought about that. But Scar gets a song.
That would have been.
Then I just love the drivingness of it. It doesn't sound like anything else in the movie. If you really think about it, like no other songs like sound like this shit. This shit is more like kind of hard hitting and driving and shit. Like I said, that low baritone bass, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the way it starts. Man, I love this song. What do you have or have you even thought about your favorite Disney song?
So it's gone through phases. At one point, it was
which would count, but no. You said so. I was being stupid. You said so.
Oh, a needle pulling thread.
It would count. Do re mi. That would count.
Yeah. So a deer, a female deer. But
shout out to Julie Andrews. Anyway.
Yeah. But no. I don't think I've ever seen that all the way through. Anyway.
I have never seen that.
For the most part, it's probably something from Aladdin. Okay. Probably, if not like Friend Like Me or Prince Ali. Like I've been obsessed with various songs from the movie Aladdin at various points. That's my favorite Disney animated film. Lion King being a close second, and thus shit like Be Prepared is way up there as well. And I will say it is definitely, that is another song that I was obsessed with as well. Out of all the songs in Lion King, that was my shit. As a kid, I loved Can't Wait to Be King and
I love that song.
Hakuna Matata. I was just as much of a sheep as everybody else when it came to Hakuna Matata. Actually, no, a dude just got a Hakuna Matata tattooed on his arm.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. What was I gonna say?
I used to love Bare Necessities before I learned any of the words, and I still like the song, but I still don't know any of the words except for the main words everybody knows. I also used to think bear was meant to be spelled Bear because it was a bear singing it.
Yeah, that's the play on words, right? Exactly. Yeah. I think for the longest time when I was young, I thought the same shit.
Like, it's the shit a bear needs. What does a bear need? I didn't know Bare Necessities was a colloquialism. I just thought he was just talking about
just like basically being a minimalist.
Yeah, it's like telling the kid. Yeah, that's what actual bare necessities means. Right. But I thought he was teaching the kid how to be a bear.
I feel like a lot of people, especially when you're a kid, I feel like a lot of people think of that shit at first initially, because I know I did for a while. What was I gonna say? Aladdin. I think my favorite Aladdin song is one step ahead of the red line. Dun, dun,
See,
dun,
that was
dun.
also one of
It's
the
so
other
jazzy.
ones.
It's jazzy as shit.
I just love those. I love the way it like built up and shit.
Gotta keep up. Gotta some thump. Gotta some thump. Gotta dum. Yeah. Favorite High School Musical song. You probably ain't even seen High School Musical. High School Musical is actually really good. I don't give a fuck. Favorite High School Musical song is "Bet on It," which again, I got this thing, and I don't do it on purpose. And this is why motherfuckers think I'm a contrarian at times. I tend to like songs and musicals, not always, but sometimes I tend to like songs and musicals that I'm not gonna say everybody hates, but that everybody like they either fly under the radar or people don't even really like think about like that. Because most people will probably say "Get Your Head in the Game" is like their favorite one, or "Stick to the Status Quo" because those are like the big songs. Mine is "Bet on It, Bet." And you go to the golf course, young Zac Efron fucking singing and shit and fucking throwing fucking dirt and shit. Oh man. Anyway.
Your favorite song from Hamilton?
I told you I was not the biggest song from Hamilton. I'm not the biggest fan of Hamilton.
Oh, that's right.
So, I mean, the only songs that I really, really know are the opening one and "Satisfied."
Well,
I know a lot of people like "Satisfied."
Well, I wasn't the biggest fan of High School Musical.
Did you even watch it?
No.
Okay then.
So it's still a true statement.
But still, you didn't even give it a chance.
I didn't say I'm the biggest hater of it either. I just said I'm not the biggest fan.
I'm just saying you didn't even give it a chance. So of course you're not the biggest fan.
Well, of course not.
Song.
Of course not. When High School Musical came out, I was in college.
Well, I wasn't in high school, bitch.
Yeah, if I was in college, yeah, you were.
What year did High School Musical come out? Hold on. Nah. Hold up. You hold that shit up, you motherfucker. You.
2006.
I was 15. Okay. All right. Well, I was in high school. Apparently, my dumb ass was in high school.
Like, if I was in college, you weren't in high school?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, then. I don't remember really watching.
But yeah, on principle, I didn't watch those movies.
I don't remember really watching it like that when I was in high school. Is what I'm saying. The Muppets movie back in 2011. I happened to be working at a movie theater at the time. The one with Amy Adams and Jason Segel. That's a musical. That was a really fucking good movie. Cameo. Well, I don't want to spoil it, so I ain't gonna say who the cameo. It was a cameo by somebody that it was like unexpected but perfect, especially at the time. What else? What was I thinking? God, Team America World Police is a fucking musical.
America, fuck yeah!
And God, that's a good one. Wait, no, it's not a musical, is it?
Not really. But
right, it's got music in it.
Well, it does have a couple songs. They do like doing musicals. They do like sneakily making their movies musicals.
South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is a musical.
Actually, you could say Team America's a musical. What you got America, fuck yeah. You got Pearl Harbor Sucks.
The characters sing, not that it's played. The characters sing.
Pearl Harbor Sucks.
I don't remember.
And I Miss You. Freedom isn't free, and not necessarily sung by it, but there's a couple other songs, but Pearl Harbor Sucks is definitely one thing where it's the main character. He's like singing about missing the girlfriend, but he really also roasts Pearl Harbor as he's doing it, because he's like, that movie was terrible. But about, you can stretch it. Now, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut definitely was a musical.
Clearly. What about would you say that Everyone Has AIDS? Would you say that is
Everyone Has AIDS?
I'm saying,
that's more of a parody on a musical, but
would you think that counts to the musicalness of Team America? I feel like that's a song for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's only the one or two lines, right?
I think he only
Like it
does it
gets
for
the
like
joke and gets done with it. Like Save the City from Hawkeye is more of a musical number than that. But
but
Hawkeye
yeah,
is not a
Team America is
musical.
definitely like you said, a musical. Um I don't know what my favorite song in Team America is.
It's America, fuck yeah, for me.
Well, no, not Team America. I'm talking about, I don't know my favorite song in South Park. That's what I meant.
South Park bigger, longer, and uncut.
Uh, you got My Quiet Little Mountain Town. You got Cal's Mom's a Bitch. Blame Canada. Up
Uncle,
There.
up there, Uncle Fucker.
Uncle Fucker.
The medley, the Law Resistance medley thing where they sing like a whole bunch of them and mix them all together. Uh, for me, it was always between Kyle's mom and Uncle Fucker when I was
think I just
younger.
love the huge epicness of Blame Canada. Just the way it's sung. Not even what they're talking about or everything, but just the way because it's so Blame Canada. It's so fucking just weird the way like pushed out and sung and shit. Now, if you just want to talk about favorite song because of what they're talking about,
Little Boy, You Going to Hell. I was obsessed with that too when I was younger.
Oh, no, little boy, you're going to
Little
hell.
boy, you going there? Separate the rocks and the birds and now you're there.
But no, what was I gonna say? I think I like Blame Canada based off of like how it's sung and the anthemicness and epicness. But if you want to talk about, like I say, if you want to talk about just a song, but like I said, the sheer like what they're talking about and the sheer stupidity of the shit, Uncle Fucker easily. That is the dumbest shit in the world. And then to find out that fucking that is where the plot comes from, as far as he lights himself on fire from farting, and then therefore Kenny does it. Boom, there you go. That's the plot.
I loved the hell out of that movie when I was younger. Fucking, It's Easy MK.
It's Easy MK. We forgot that one.
That was a fun one.
That was a good one. Say, bitch, drop the C because Bic is Latin for generosity.
I can change. Saddam's song.
I don't even remember.
Some people say that I'm a bad guy. They may be right. They may be right.
We also forgot I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Yep. Big Gay Al.
Forgot that too. Damn. No, that's what's
they killed it with that soundtrack.
Them motherfuckers actually made a fucking musical, bro.
Yeah, that like I said, that's a straight up fucking musical.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what some more musicals that were like really, really fun and good and whatever the fuck.
What's your favorite Little Shop of Horror song?
Ooh. Okay. Well, I mean, since I am sitting in Little Shop of Horrors, royalty,
Royalty. Okay.
Yeah, let me think. The Dentist I'll Be a Dentist is a good song. Okay. Mean Mother from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows Suddenly Seymour. Trying to think what else is there in the song. I mean the movie.
There's Supper Time, there's Feed Me / Go Get It. It's Just the Gas wasn't in the movie. Shit, I'm trying to remember. So, when you say that, they're like, okay, songs we've mentioned, but that are only in the movie and not in the stage play.
Stage play can count too, because that'd be like if we did The Wizard of Oz, and then you talk about like the Jitterbug, which is like apparently in the stage
That's
play.
That's from Wizard of Oz?
Who's that hiding? The Jitterbug, yeah.
Oh.
What the fuck do you think I was talking about?
I want a Jitterbug.
Fuck no, that's Footloose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't figure it'd be Wizard of Oz. So when you're like, oh, Jitterbug, I'm like, that's Wizard of Oz?
The stage play of The Wizard of Oz. At least when I saw it at the Muni however many years ago, I remember I was a boy, not a man. But there was some like, the Jitterbug. The Jitterbug. Who's that hiding? Yeah, and it was like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because by the time I had seen The Wizard of Oz enough, I liked it. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Um,
I don't think Mushnick and Son is in the movies.
Mushnick and Son is a good one. I remember watching you do that. Well,
You didn't
you
see
didn't
me
do
do
it.
that.
You didn't do it. So when I saw you do the play, I remember
Uh,
watching you do the play, and I liked that song. That was Bill, wasn't it?
yeah.
Shout out to Bill, yeah. Be my son, be my son. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a fun song. Somewhere That's Green is a popular one. Family Guy even parodied it with Old Man singing it about Chris.
Yeah.
Dude, coming straight from high school, because like Jazz was trolling with the royalty thing earlier. He was mainly saying that because I was into playing high school, like a high school version of it. But when I was in college, so very not that removed from high school. And remember, I'm still in my mindset I mentioned in a few things where it's like the things I liked aren't liked by a lot of people. So I knew not everybody shared my like for Little Shop of Horror. So I'm sitting here watching a random episode of Family Guy, and then the dude starts singing the song, and I'm like, this is just the actual fucking words of the song. And then I was like, he's still going. Oh my God, he's still going. He's doing like damn near the whole song. I laughed so fucking hard. I've never laughed that hard at the scene since, but just for the first time and just to be like, you're doing the whole fucking song. Wait, what? You even like did the cool down the big enormous 12-inch screen on December bright. He's father, and I'm like, you still going?
Well, you know good and well if anybody who is like big, mainstream media, pop culture shit, if anybody's a fucking musical theater nerd, it's fucking Seth MacFarlane.
Well, I know that now.
Well, I'm saying, right,
I'm saying not so much.
I'm saying, yeah, this motherfucker did fucking Shapoopy.
Okay.
What? So yeah.
Me, I didn't know Shapoopy was from anything before Family Guy. I just thought it was some random shit he decided to throw into a thing. But again, I'm sure people who know what Shapoopy is, or I know what it is now, but people who did at the time were like, this motherfucker's doing the whole damn song again.
Singing in the Rain?
No.
Where is it from?
Music Man? I
think you're right.
It's definitely not from Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was wrong.
Make them laugh, by the way.
Singing in the Rain. And then also, Mr. Booze. Mr. Booze.
I found out later that was from something else.
Mm-hmm. That is not so much a parody. You could say parody.
It's pretty much the same fucking song.
Yeah, it's basically like they just flipped it, and that's a fucking, and that's like apparently like an obscure musical, like that most people like don't even know exists.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now I know this motherfucker's a musical nut. When I first saw it, I didn't. But then again, I was like, when I was younger, I was like, Family Guy is weird, and I had just started to get into it because of my friends down here were into it. But no, to answer the Little Shop of Horrors question, it is my favorite is actually not one of Orange Cabello's songs. Oh, it's either Feed Me / Go Get It. Grow For Me is another famous song from that.
Also, there's what's that fucking song? The opening Little Shop of Horrors, the opening song. Yeah.
Fucking Downtown. I like Downtown more than I like or Down on Skid Row. I like that more than the Little Shop of Horrors thing, but just because again, it's the different people that it keeps cutting to, and it's like setting the stage for the thing. Everyone's like talking about themselves and shit. And you get to, especially when you get to Seymour's part, and it's poor. All my life I've always been poor. I keep asking God what you know what I mean. And then it breaks it down. And there was one, so I was also part of that song, like Our Stage, because eventually dudes singing, someone tell me I still can get out of here, dooba dooba doo. Go watch it. It's a good movie / musical. But the crowd or the homeless people come in as for the background. They're like, downtown, there's no rules for us. Downtown, cause it's dangerous. Right? And I remember having fun in the play because there was like part of the set had like a fence, but behind the fence there was like a little elevated black platform that you couldn't really see. But so we would get on there, and when it got to that part, because the nights that I wasn't playing Orange Scribello DDS, I was playing random homeless ensemble person. And so during that part, I'd climb up the fence, like looking down at him, like, down, there's no rules for
If the director never told you to stop this shit.
So obviously, when my favorite jokes are the jokes that, or my favorite kind of inside jokes are the ones where I'm the only one on the inside. So
that is the funniest sentence. And that is also the most Omari/Pete sentence ever. My favorite jokes, inside jokes, are the ones where I'm the only one on the inside. That is fucking, that's so you. Anyway, that's so you.
So I'm getting an extra kick out of it because I'm just doing this weird shit, making faces while I'm doing that. So that song always will stick with me. But yeah, my favorite one's either Supper Time or it's one of the fucking Plant songs. Whether it's Mean Green Mother, Supper Time, or fucking Go Get It or Feed Me, Seymour, that song.
The villain songs, man, the villains get a like, and that's not Disney. That's not Disney, is it?
No.
Right, I didn't think so. But like, just speaking of like, just like Scar and shit, the villains get a lot of good songs. Like, I don't remember Hunchback of Notre Dame that well, but
Hellfire,
Friends on the Other Side.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what Ursula's song was.
I don't know her actual song, but I know what you're talking about. Even
Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Yeah, Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Villains get good shit, man. But my favorite
it's
shit,
because they get the best like voice actor types for those motherfuckers, and their voices automatically are like tailored to sounding good when singing songs in addition to it. Like Ursula's voice actress just works for that character and everything.
And then on top of that, it's also like you said, best voice actors, because usually it might be lower or like a more affected, weird type of voice. And then on top of that, what you're saying, also them being villains, they can talk about crazier shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how they're singing it, and then what they're singing is wild as fuck.
They have less of a limit on what they can talk about.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite shit though, bruh, at the end, I'm sorry, like it would either be I'm a mean mother from outer space, and I'm
mean green bag. I fucking love that song. But here's the thing: leading up to Mean Green and this is why I say Supper Time is one of my favorites, because I just like the guy's voice. I like his voice in those songs too. And the reprise when it gets near the end and Audrey's like looking around and he's like, "Hey little lady, hello." And she's like, "What? What's it? You're looking cute as can be." Like he's doing all that shit, and then after they had their little talk, and it brings in the music. It's like, especially in the movie, "Come on and give me a drink." "Hey little lady, be nice." Oh shit, it's too late for me to be going hard on this song.
I also like, but I was gonna say it would either be Mean Mother, or
Suddenly Seymour's good too, though.
I was just about to say, I talk about I like stuff that other people don't like without knowing. Suddenly fucking Seymour. It's Mean Mother or Suddenly Seymour. It's one of those two. I probably say Mean Mother, but yeah.
Full disclosure, people at home, Little Shop's my favorite musical. Yeah, Little Shop's my favorite musical. But there have been times when I used to work at the sandwich place with the fast sandwiches that elicited a response from the customer. there would be times when I would close, and I did it 2 or 3 times, where music in the background, I decided to play a game where I turned on the soundtrack to Little Shop of Horrors, sang along with every part, and went before, like, I played one of the roles in this. I'm gonna be singing along with this whole thing for this musical.
Tell that to people you work with.
You guess which one of these roles I played.
Hilarious.
And so I tried to sing each of the songs like as if I was playing the character, and I think they always got it right. I mean,
gee, I wonder what you're saying. I can't. I'll be your dentist. Oh, gee, okay. Like
again, I sang all of the songs with the same amount of passion.
I'm just saying.
Then again, I've always identified as a Seymour, but sometimes reality tells me I'm more of an Oren, with the exception of the woman beating part, because I'm not that. More just in terms of demeanor and perception. I was so mad I didn't get Seymour. Not because he was the lead, but because, damn it, I'm the dorkiest motherfucker in this high school.
Anyway, I was gonna say before we close out, one of my favorite songs from a musical too is I always loved. It's a fucking song, and there's no words. Fucking Tarzan, Disney's Tarzan, Trash in the Camp, which I didn't even fucking know that was the name of it because there's no words. They fucking gorilla scatted and they made that shit fucking dope. The Scooby Doo Dooby Doo Scooby Doo Dooby Doo Dooby that bro, that shit was so dope. That's one of my favorite songs, and it's just scat. It's scat, and it's like you don't even know like what's the name of the song, and they call it Trash in the Camp because in the movie they're destroying the camp that Jane and them were at. So yeah. But yeah, it's fucking dope as fuck. Anyway.
Whimsical Wednesday.
There you go. Other stuff that you'll hopefully find dope as fuck would be that if you want to follow us on our respective socials. So if you want to check out your boy, you can go ahead. I actually make music from time to time. Although ironically, I have not been in a musical because even though I rap, your boy don't sing. That being said, if you want to go ahead and check out anywhere you stream your music, you can go ahead and look me up under the name Super Jazz. That's spelled SUPERJAZ. Go ahead and look up, find the debut solo album I dropped about 2 years ago called My Secret Identity. You might have to put in Super Jazz, My Secret Identity, since I'm not that famous yet. Also, you can go ahead and follow me on X, Twitter. Go ahead and follow me under the name Super Jazz 2. So that's Super Jazz number 2. And of course, go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Super Jazz. The word forever is spelled correctly. And lastly, but not leastly, if you feel so inclined, and especially if you happen to be in the St. Louis area, myself being an actor, I started a production company a few months ago. We just wrapped on the first show. So go ahead on Facebook and like the page Aquarian Rising Productions. That's Aquarian, not Aquarius. And you might want to like that sooner rather than later because I'm going to be having some stuff that I'm going to be posting. Hopefully got some things brewing. Always stuff brewing behind the scenes. So go ahead and like Aquarian Rising Productions and stay up to date with your boy. All that being said, where can they find you, man?
Well, y'all know y'all can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast, even if a hurricane's going on. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the channel Feo Grande. I got a show I do on that channel every week, every Tuesday, called This Guy Hasn't Seen. I do it with a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, Bill Smith.
Shout out to Bill.
We watch movies and stuff. I believe this week was Do the Right Thing, and I believe next week is something a little lighter-hearted, a little more lighthearted than Do the Right Thing. It's Red Line?
Don't know that one. Okay.
I want to say it's Red Line. I could be wrong. And if I am, then whatever. Red Line will eventually happen. It's a racing movie with like F-Zero style type vibes, but not straight up F-Zero.
Cartoon?
Yeah, anime.
Okay.
from 2011. Anyway, I also have a Twitter and Twitch. That's Giotavi. That's Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. My Instagram just got an extra follower. I don't post anything, so I don't know why. Anyway, that's me.
Is it somebody you know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yo, all that being said, which is when I was supposed to say all that being said, not after me, like you ain't here. But all that being said, whether it be about hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters, or whether it be about musicals, music, and our favorites within them, what are we gonna talk about next time?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
And stay safe. Adiosness.